Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's Egal Talks Football, and we're back again with another video. Today, what we're going to be doing is a match preview for the Bayern Munich game at the Allianz Arena. I got my boy DAYO in the building representing Arsenal, who's going to be helping me out with today's show. And we also have the man himself back again. Bayern Ryan is back on the show. We're gonna get into we're gonna first discuss what happened in the previous game before we get into what's gonna happen in the upcoming matchup. But this is now going to be at the Allianz Arena, Bayern Munich versus Arsenal, all to play for at the Allianz. Bayern did their job. I'll say this before I get started and I hand over the mic to you guys. Bayern did their job. You guys did your thing. You came to the Emirates, you made it difficult, and you left there with a draw. That was a positive result for you. And I would say a negative result for Arsenal, as of course we're the home team. We have to come at you guys and we have to try to get that victory. We were unable to do that. And now it's all to be played for on Wednesday at the Allianz Arena. Ryan, you must be gassed. You must be happy about your team's performance. And we're going to get into all the penalties and everything else. Dayo, let me know when you're ready. But yeah, I thought that game, I think that the previous game deserves a little bit of talking about before we get into the next upcoming game. First, I thought Davies, you were 100% spot on about what you said about Davies. We ripped him up to shreds, opening goal, and he's sent off, and he's off for the next game. You also had unfortunate injuries to Gnabry, Coleman. I don't know if Sane is available either. We're gonna get into all of that. Okay, so Sane is available. He causes some problems with the penalty. Harry Kane scores his obvious penalty. Gnabry celebrated against us, which I didn't like. And yeah, the rest of the game, I felt like you guys did your job, held on defensively, and it was on us to break you down, and we just couldn't do it. It was unfortunate also that we had at 1-0, we had an opportunity to make it 2-0 with Ben White, but he couldn't capitalize. You guys hit the bar late in the game also. So we both had opportunities to win the game, but we didn't really take it. But yeah, that's my analysis of the game. At the end of the day, the result's fair. We can complain about the two refereeing decisions that went wrong, but the reality is both of them should have been given as penalties, and we're just the referee bottled it, in my opinion. But before we go to you, Ryan, big up everyone in the chat. Let me know what you guys think about the upcoming game versus Bayern Munich and Arsenal. Dayo, talk to me. How you feeling?
About the upcoming game, I'm feeling good. It's just going to be, we've made it harder on ourselves.
The previous game.
Oh, the previous game. I think Ryan can agree with me that the previous game, individual errors cost us those two goals. Individual errors cost us those two goals. And if we had not made those errors, because like I said the last time we talked before the last game, I said a team like Bayern, if you give them the chance, they have the quality to damage you. Forget that they're not in form. That's some nonsense. That talk does not work. If you might not be in form in your league, but in the UCL, it's knockout is different. And these guys are guys with experience. So of course, those silly mistakes that we made cost us the two goals. I believe that if we had kept our head down and not played the occasion instead of playing the game, like we played the occasion, Arsenal players were taking our back. It's Bayern, what the Emirates, it's a Champions League, quarterfinal. We're young, we can do this. All of that's not going to help. Do the simple things, play the game, keep mistakes to the barest minimum, score your 1 or 2. Remember, Ryan, remember what I said last? I said if we can score 1 or 2 goals and keep you guys from scoring, that if we come to the Allianz, we stand a better chance. But going there now, we've just made it harder on ourselves. Forget their injuries. Forget yeah. I think it's almost like saying you're going swimming, right? And it's like, you know what? If you had done what you needed to do, you would basically come in with a wetsuit, get in there and swim. But now you've tied weights to your leg. You might still make it to the end, but you've got weights now, man. And those weights, I'm telling you, it's like if they score first, it's over. Forget it. Like if they score first, now if we score first, it's still not over for them because they're at home. No. That's the stadium. It's not over for them. Anything can happen.
Everybody scores on us first lately.
I know. I'm just saying, like, regardless, it's like, So I think at the end of the day, most importantly for me is we just made it harder on ourselves. And the painful part for me with the last game was that it was individual errors. Like, that tackle in the box. Just guide him and let him shoot. I know he can shoot. Raya could make probably a save, and if he scored from his shot, then better. Don't give him a penalty. You could have gotten a red card. That could have been a red card. You know what I'm saying? Like that means we're 10 men down. Those kind of little mistakes irk me. Like those are the things that I was upset about. I wasn't upset about how we played because we played really well. I think we played Bayern really well. The chances they had, they took it though, and it was from our mistakes. The minute we opened up and we allowed them, boom, we were done.
The thing that drove me nuts was like you had Sane go down there and he had a one-on-one and he didn't even take a shot. And I mean, for me, those are the types of things. It's like at least get the shot off. I don't care if it goes 20 miles into the stands, just at least get a damn shot. And I mean, the thing is it's Davies when he got his yellow card extremely early. Then you had Serge Gnabry having to come back and.
Ryan, your audio is kind of bad. Jump out, jump back in. I don't know what's going on with your audio.
All right, hold on.
Jump out, jump back in.
Let's see. I think that early yellow card on Davis was a good thing for us because at that point he literally backed down and somebody else was now defending against Bukayo Saka. And eventually when he got his confidence back, he came back into his role. Like you could see that they swapped. He stopped tackling Saka. I just believe that now we've made it harder on ourselves. If we can do what we did with Man U, which is at the Alliance, go there, not play a deep block. I'm not asking us to play deep block. Play defensively solid. Pop one goal in and just do a smash and grab. Like if you remember how we beat a Man City at the Emirates at the last minute, it was a lucky deflection, but it's what it is. Like I would take that any day. I don't want to go into penalties with them. I don't, all of that. I don't want any of that stuff. So I'm just glad that I'm glad that we're still in it. Like if we were 2-1 down or 3-2 down, I'd have lost hope by now. No, I believe that they can still get something, even if it goes to penalties. That might be the only way. But pushing Bayern to penalties at their home is
impossible.
That's hard. That's I'm trying to visualize how to see it. I'm just thinking the only other way is maybe let's go play them dirty like Porto did us. Play some very, very dark arts football and get one of them to get sent off with a red card. Like just go in there dirty. Like don't even try and So I think it's a tall order. But like I said, one thing I'm happy about is our head-to-head record with Bayern is not that terrible. So when people keep saying, like, I know everybody remembers the 10-2 aggregate, but our head-to-head record is not terrible. They've won 6, we've won 4, we've drawn 2 with them.
1-7.
Sorry, they've won 7. We've drawn 3 now. Yeah, they've won 7, won 4. So I'm like, it's not a terrible head-to-head. It's not like it's not like one of those teams that we know that okay, well, we've played them 12 times, they beat us 11, we've drawn 1, so we know that the odds are really, really against us. So I think if we do well, if we can get our A game on, do a smash and grab, I think this would be my approach. Go in there, play defensively solid, as strong as you can, do a smash and grab, get a 1-0 victory, and just run out of there and leave Germany. Don't ever look back. Don't just never look back. Just take off. From the pitch back to Emirates. Don't go to the hotel. Don't before they change their mind or the referees change their mind. So
let me just bring up some comments in the comment section. First of all, 2 teams will go trophyless. I think it's not ridiculous to say that Arsenal could still win the league or the Champions League. Bayern could still potentially win the Champions League. So to say we're going to go trophyless yet, it's too you're jumping the gun a little bit. As for that, we have somebody here saying Cole Palmer, forget about Bayern. Cole Palmer is night. Yeah, Chelsea fans are just going to be all over Cole Palmer. But the reality is,
y'all are trash and nobody gives a crap.
Nah, but like, he had a good game. He had a good game.
Good. He's good.
He's having a good season.
He's great. Chelsea's trash. We'll move along.
Yeah, he's having a good season. But
two teams that actually are playing in the middle of the week. Not a team that has to play on like a Monday because nobody cares.
You know what? That's harsh. I think Chelsea today looked really good. I'll give them credit. They might get European football now.
They look good because it's Everton. Everton made them look good.
Yeah.
You see how Everton played?
Everton's bad.
You see how Everton played?
No, they were terrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what made them look super good. And I'm not saying that to put down anybody. Cole Palmer is a good player, But that team, this is how you know that team is not that team has issues internally. The first penalty the Cole Palmer wanted to take, Madueke was fighting for it, Jackson was fighting for it, and then Cole Palmer came to grab the ball off him, and then the captain had to step in and be like, hey, no, look, no, let Palmer take it. And Madueke is upset, and then Jackson's like, well, let me get a goal to you. After all, you already had the hot trick. And I'm looking at them like, you guys, for real? Like snatching the ball off each other's hands. Of course, it's a little thing, but you can tell that that's what the team is about right now at this stage, and those are things that need to be fixed. So yeah,
let's bring it back to this game. You got Ramen in the building saying Bayern is Bayern, even if Arsenal park the bus. We'll talk about if Arsenal will park the bus, but he says that they'll create 30 chances and score at the end.
Who is they?
He says Bayern.
Oh yeah, we'll take 30 shots. 4 of them will be on target, but we'll take 30 shots if y'all park the bus.
Before we go any further, DAYO, do you think we'll park the bus?
I don't know what we would. I would rather play a mid block than a deep block. I don't think we park the bus. I think we play a mid block if Martinelli is fit, because I still feel that his injury, his cut, is a big deal. Like, people don't understand when I was saying that he had a cut and they had to stitch it and they had to glue it up, and the cut might be the surface might be healed, but the inside might still be delicate. And if he puts on the boots and kicks the ball, that thing opens up again.
Yeah.
It's done. So if he's fit, I think we play a mid block and we release the Kraken. I mean, I know that he can drive at people, and my thing is, let's just use every tool in the box. If we play a deep block, let's try and release Martinelli and Havertz on time. And I would advise both of them, what you're trying to find is set pieces on the edge of the box. If you can get a chance to shoot clear, shoot clear. Don't just shoot and give them the ball. If you have the ball, hold the ball and get tackled. Get us set pieces that we're good at on the edge of the box, and let's see if we can make use of those set pieces. We get 3, 4, 5 set pieces there, boom. Hopefully one could go in. Try and get corner kicks as much as you can. If you can't beat that defense, get corner kicks. Yeah, they're playing at home. They're a tough team. They've got the heritage. They understand how to play the game. Tuchel has won this before. This is not like a coach that doesn't know about the Champions League. So my strategy would be play a mid block, something that holds them off. Keep the ball. Don't allow them to get the ball. And when you do allow your players have the ball up front, draw a foul. Give us the chance for set pieces that we're good at. Give us a chance for draw a foul. Draw a foul.
I mean, is that how y'all normally play though?
No.
We did that against the top team.
Why would you change the way that you play?
Because
if we open up one-off game,
if we open up against you, Bayern, if we open up the way we play high pressing football. Our defenders are usually on the halfway line. Sani, your boys are going to kill us. This is clear. Like, it's almost like no matter how good you are as a fighter, right? If you're going to go in the ring, you know what you're strong at. We know our defense is strong. So I'm like, we'll play a mid-block defense and then try to use the other tools that we're also good at, because we scored the most set pieces this season in the league. Like, we're good at set pieces. We've been scoring a bunch of goals from there. So my thing is, the things that we do that works, let's try to use it against you. So draw those fouls, get the set pieces. Let's see if we can use those. If you get a chance to shoot. If you get a chance to pass and dribble it through and score like we did at the Emirates, do what you need to do. But my point is, play to your strength. And our strength, instead of just playing to the best we can play, no, let's play to our strength, what we're really strong at, which is our defense. So we need to...
I mean, the biggest thing is without Kingsley Coman, who we lost this weekend, without Serge Gnabry, who got hurt in that game, you know what I'm saying, carrying Davies for 60 minutes. And yes, I say carrying Davies because once he got his yellow card, then he was... I'm not defending, so Serge had to come back and defend and then play offense, come back and play midfield, try to cover defense for Davies. So, I mean, the thing is Serge is going to get hurt when he's running back and forth trying to do everything. So without those two, that really leaves us with Brian Zaragoza. It leaves us with probably having to shove Musiala outside. Sane's still there. And then Matthias Till. And that's all we really have at wing right this second. But like Eagle, you said that you were mad because Serge celebrated when he scored. He's not on loan. He's been with us for going on 7 years? I mean, you're not his parent club anymore.
I know that. I'm just simply saying he grew up in our academy. There is
No, he didn't. No, he did not.
He was in our academy for a while. He was at our club previously. We're a former
and
club.
Y'all hated him.
No, we didn't hate him.
You hated him.
We did not
That's why
hate him.
that's why you sent him to West
Once
Brom
again,
and then
we
send
did
him
not.
everywhere else.
We did not hate him. They made a mistake sending him to West Brom, which was the worst decision for his development. We should have sent him back to Germany to develop and to come back. We actually wanted to give him a new contract, but he left. He wanted to leave, hence why we sold him. Now, him celebrating, I just think there's an etiquette where you score against your former club for the first time, you don't celebrate.
I mean, my thing is you can't sit there. If it was a year off, I can understand. I mean, it's almost been a decade since the last time he was there.
Yeah. I think you know what, I'd say this, right. As much as I like Serge Gnabry, him celebrating, he's done more um with Bayern
Bayern.
than he's done with us. So
He did
I
more with Bayern than he's done with
you know
practically
so
anybody.
No, but I just think there's an etiquette where you don't celebrate against your previous team. Fair
sorry,
enough.
hold on. Who's Reinhard Verroy? Just seeing
What
you
do you
guys
say?
crying at the end of the season. Love the Undertaker's guys like DAYO is coming out. So more tears for me to drink. Bro, if you drink my tears, you'll live forever, man. I don't think you realize that I'm a vampire.
That was so cheesy. That was so cheesy.
I know that. Of
Listen,
What
course not.
I,
the
I
Guys,
hell?
no,
think
guys like that. That's what they deserve. Cheesy
I
nonsense.
think I think people know that if Bayern lose, their season's done. Their season is done,
That's
literally.
another thing. That's another thing. Bayern knows
But
that they.
talk
I
to me
mean,
about the urgency from the Bayern Munich side, because you guys are kind of scrambling at this point.
No, we're
You're not
not.
in the DF Pokal. You've lost the league. You only have the
No.
Champions League. Is it laser focus or is it a little bit of panic?
I mean, why would we panic? Panic about what? Tuchel's not going to be there next year, so we don't care. The panic is 'I'd say it's 98% sure that we're getting Julian Nagelsmann back. So I mean, there's no real panic. We're riding the ship as it goes. You hear all of these goofy scenarios of Musiala going to City, Musiala going to Liverpool, Musiala thinks about Man United or this or that. He's not going anywhere. He has a contract until 2026. The thing is if anybody wants to bid, we don't do release clauses. So you're not just going to come in and snipe him. He's not going to make a decision on his contract until we have another coach, which will be Nagelsmann, which means he's going to get put right back in the starting lineup. So I mean, the thing is we're not panicked. We already lost the league. Congratulations, Leverkusen, on that. I mean, the Pokal we haven't really been in since 2019-ish anyway.
Oh,
So I
really?
mean that. Yeah, I mean, we've been to. Let's see. I went to the final in 2019 against Leipzig, and we've kind of crashed out before that pretty much every time since. We haven't been very good. We
So
lost to Heidenheim, we lost to Holstein Kiel, we lost to Sauerbrücken. We lose to the smaller teams.
fair enough.
But I mean, so I mean, the thing is unlike last year, like I saw in the comments somewhere, like, oh well, we battered them 3-0 in the Etihad. Yes, they've battered us in a very easy spot of chaos because we were in 3 competitions up until Tuchel was hired. We fired Nagelsmann, that threw us into chaos. Oliver Kahn, Brazo, all of those guys just throwing, you know what I'm saying, wrenches into everything we had. Then we damn near crashed out all 3. You see what I'm saying? Right after Tuchel's hiring was when we lost to Freiburg last year and crashed out of the Pokal. So I mean, the thing is last year's a little bit of a DAYO Upamecano mess up. It was the chaos and all that kind of stuff. It's like DAYO said. Individual mistakes last year were the same as the individual mistakes that we had against y'all this time, but it was just different individuals.
Okay, let's get into this game now. So I'm just before we go any further, however many people we have right now on YouTube, do me a favor. At least let's try to get. We're aiming for at least 100 likes. So let's try to get the likes up, guys. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost a penny. So hit that like button right now if you're in the chat. Also, Let me know, who do you think is going to win the tie between Bayern Munich and Arsenal? We're not there yet on our side, but we're just going to look at some of the injuries. So who's going to be out for this game for you guys, specifically your wingers? Because I've heard a lot of players have been dropping like flies. So we know Alphonso Davies is out. Is Gnabry
Alphonso
out?
Davies is out because of red card or for yellow cards. Serge Gnabry's out 6 weeks, so he won't play. Kingsley Coman's out for the rest of the year.
Okay.
Tariq Buckman's still out.
What is going on with Sane?
He'll be there.
He'll be there.
Yeah, he was practicing today.
Yeah, they said he just was feeling some kind of physical discomfort. Could have just been maybe like a headache or something. That's what they refer to those as. So he might have just had like a little migraine or something, and like a physical discomfort.
He didn't really play this weekend at all. So we rest a lot of the guys that played this weekend. Were guys that really didn't start against Arsenal, or like Davies, who's not going to play. So we kind of tested a couple of guys, like Pavlovic came out and got some minutes in. So I mean, the thing is we unfortunately we had to play Jamal Musiala in the 49th minute because that's when Kingsley Coman got hurt. But we'll have a really solid lineup except for wings.
So
but
who's going to start?
Who's going to start?
Your front three.
The front three is going to be Kane at striker. On the left will be Musiala. On the right will be Sane, and then Thomas Muller will be the attacking mid, the top four.
Okay, and then so Thomas Muller. Sorry, so it'll be Kane, Musiala on the left.
Yeah. Sane on the right.
Sane on the right.
And Muller in the middle.
Okay, so Muller will be the 10, Musiala will be the left.
Yeah. That's how they'll start. Once the game begins, you don't know where Thomas Muller or Jamal Musiala are going to be because they're going to sit there and do this the entire time. And then Muller and Sane will do this the entire time. And you've seen Kane play enough. Kane will end up being a flipping center back at some point. That's my only issue with Harry Kane is, dude, just stay the hell up top. Lewandowski got so many goals because he stayed his ass at the top of the just. I don't care. Play paper rock scissors with Gabriel and Saliba all night. Just stay there.
Sometimes he turns into a deep line playmaker sometimes.
Now the thing's going to be is in our midfield. The midfield and left back are going to be the things that are going to be different from the first leg.
I think you're going to play Lerma.
It'll be either Goretzka or it'll be Leimer playing next to Pavlicic.
I think Leimer will definitely play.
Well, I mean, Goretzka will definitely play at some point, but the thing is does Tuchel keep Konrad Leimer in there, or does he move him for Goretzka at some point? Because the other issue is that left back is, do we play Guerrero there or do we play Mazraoui there? Because Mazraoui played this weekend. Guerrero started beside Konrad Leimer in the midfield, or beside Pavlicic in the midfield this weekend.
Let me ask you this, and because I want to get DAYO involved. DAYO, who do you think is, what do you call it, the problem, the person you're most worried about for Bayern?
Sorry, it's that numbskull Harry Kane. That's just the guy I don't like. Bayern have enough quality to feed him. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have enough quality to feed him, and so he's the guy that I feel like if we take him and Sane out, Musiala. I mean, if we play Tomiyasu and Declan can hold on to Muller, just be his bride all night. Just hug him. Just follow him everywhere, to the bathroom, to the kitchen. Just be there with him. Don't allow him receive the ball. If he does, get a tackle in. You know,
who you talking about?
I said if Rice can hug on to Muller, just follow Muller. No, I'm just saying we don't. I'm not saying he. All I'm saying is if he.
No,
can.
but what I'm saying is if you want Rice to follow him, Rice is going to follow him all the way out to the left, and then you open up your midfield. So the thing is Muller's going to sit there and find the open space along the front three.
Agreed.
You
All I'm
can't
saying,
follow it.
I'm just saying, regardless of what happens, we have the same thing. We have the same thing with Odegaard, where Odegaard moves sometimes to the left, sometimes he comes to the right, finds those little pockets. Like if you have anybody on your team to follow him, it's going to open up on your end too. So I'm just saying
Yeah,
that
but
the
we
key
don't follow
player that
people.
I know. So in answering Igal's question, who am I worried about? I'm like the people I'm worried about are Muller, Sane, Kane. Musiala, I think if we have Tomiyasu on that side, I think he's on the left. So he's going to be on Tomiyasu's side. If he's on Tomiyasu's side, I'm rest assured that Tomiyasu can handle him. Like he's a very skillful player, he's a wonderful player, he's amazing. But Tomiyasu as a defender one-on-one is an amazing defender one-on-one. So I think he can handle them. On the other side is where I think we have a problem with Ben going forward and overlapping. If Ben is overlapping, he's leaving that opening on the right-hand side, which is scary for me. So if we can lock up Muller and we can lock up Sane, I think that once Kane is not getting any balls, he's going to drop deep like he does when he was at Tottenham. That's what he does. He'll drop deep to become a deep line playmaker. And at that point, whoever needs to be marking, if it's Saliba or Gabriel, one of you just stay on him. Just push. Like we've seen Saliba do it a lot of times where he comes across into the opponent side and he crashes with the striker. Like he literally stays with him until they try to send the ball back. So if we can just
Tomiyasu plays on which side?
he plays both left and right.
Oh,
He plays left and right. He can play on either side. So usually
Okay,
we use him on the left hand
so
side.
you would if he's on the left hand side, he'll play
if
against
he plays,
Sane
he's gonna
then.
play on the left. Personally, I wouldn't be surprised if KVR started. Don't you?
Then it would be him versus Sane.
Yeah, it would be KVR versus Sane. I think I'd prefer Tomiyasu versus Sane.
No, Tomiyasu might start. Yeah,
I think
because of
Tomiyasu
how bad
Sane.
he was.
Yeah. Tomiyasu is a more solid one-on-one defender, and he's deceptively fast. The guy is deceptively fast. Like a lot of times we just see him and we think he's 6'3", long legs, deceptively fast, and very strong. And he's a big lad. So I feel like if he gets shouldered a couple of times, if Sane gets shouldered a couple of times, he'll try and find a different way to pass him. Musiala, on the other hand, if Ben White starts to overlap too much, Musiala can hurt us on that side. But I think
let me ask Ryan, what's the blueprint to beat Bayern?
So I'm not telling you that shit.
It's not like we're the ones coaching.
It's not like what
to
have
beat
people,
us to beat
what
us
have
is
most
not
teams done this season to make it difficult for you guys?
to beat us. Ignore Harry Kane. Just ignore him. Yes, because the thing is if you're worried about him, Musiala is going to drive right by you. Musiala will take the shot. If you're worried about Kane and you're worried about Musiala, Sane from the other side will take the shot. So the thing is it's not as much as worrying about those guys. It's take advantage of the midfield. The weak point of our team right now is because there's so much we don't know who that 8 is. You see what I'm saying? It could be Limer, it could be Guerrero, it could be Goretzka. Pavlicic can lock down is our closest thing we've got to a Declan Rice, but without knowing, you know what I'm saying, we don't have that center mid pairing that is played enough together to be able to do that. The only other issue is, and where teams can definitely take advantage, is going to, and it's been a lot lately, is going to Joshua Kimmich's side, outrunning him, or waiting until Kimmich starts coming into the like making that infield move like he always tries to do. And when he does, that's when they just float it over the top and just flat out outrunning down there. With Dyer, it's the same issue. You can outrun Eric Dyer. You can outrun Matthias de Ligt. The issue with us having both of those, they don't have the speed as like say a Saliba or Gabriel. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that recovery speed. De Ligt can get close and make that tackle like Mats Hummels used to, but we don't have that speed in the center back. We do, but Dayo Upamecano can make terrible decisions.
Are you saying balls over the top to Martinelli would be your weakness?
It can be, yeah. I mean, that you got to think that's the way it's either that or parking the bus, allowing us to move forward, and then we have that extreme high line instead of our normal high line, and then you do the exact same thing.
I think
that's basically the Atletico crap.
Dayo, did you hear that? I think that's exactly what Mikel Arteta is going to do.
But that's what I said, Igal, at the beginning. I said play a mid block, invite them in, and then release the Kraken and Martinelli, because I know that that's why I said if Martinelli is fit, he's one of our fastest players. If we release him against DAYO and the rest of them, he will burn them in the dust. Now the good thing is whether Martinelli makes it to the goalpost and gets a chance to shoot or not is irrelevant to me. If you take him down anywhere near the 18-yard box, we have other tools that we can score with. If you give us a corner kick, if we get too many, we could score from that because we're good at that. If he gets the chance to shoot, he's a very good finisher. So I trust him to finish his goals. So my thing is, if Arteta doesn't get overwhelmed by the occasion of being in the quarterfinals, the second leg of the quarterfinals of the Champions League for the first time being a manager, if he doesn't get overwhelmed by it and sits down, breathes, and looks at the tactic and looks at the team, I mean, and he knows better than us. He's the one who got us to the quarterfinal. I'm not a coach in any way. The best I know of coaching is from an app, So
now my only issue is how does Odegaard being doubtful for the game? How does that change y'all's midfield? Because as of right now, it has him listed as doubtful.
I think he's gonna play. I think he's gonna play.
They said he's doubtful because he was tired.
Well, he was fatigued.
So that's why they took him out.
Yeah, because everything I saw that they were talking about, why the reason they took him out is because he felt a hardening in a muscle. Which is right.
That might just be cramps.
Well, the thing is me being the expert on hardening a muscle, because that's what Sané gets, that's what Serge gets, that's what Coman gets, that's what Jerome Boateng used to get. All of those are signs right before something tears. The thing is if you get them out before that, you have a shot. It's not really a cramp. It's basically, from everything I've seen with, what I'm saying, as many wings as we have to get injured with that exact same issue. It seems like if he didn't get hurt in the game that you were in, you put him in the second half of the next game, or at least that's how we've been doing it. Because they'll tear everything in that muscle. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know.
I haven't heard too much on the DAYO. Did you see anything on things injury?
No. I did not see. I mean, all I heard was that it was a lot of fatigue and that he just needs a lot of rest. And I trust.
I don't know how reliable the Daily Mail is. I don't know how reliable that is.
No, they over exaggerate all the time.
Yeah, they're not the most reliable. I mean, they will tell there's an iota of truth on what they say. Like, yes, there was some kind of fatigue, but then the Daily Mail will be like, "Oh, Arsenal's 25-year-old amazing captain out for unknown number of days." They don't want to say it, like, and then everybody's like, "Oh,"
they exaggerate for clicks.
Yeah, they just
okay.
So yeah,
I know like if a German outlet, if they say something, I can tell you if it's BS or not. But as far as like English, if I hear anybody say, like, if the Daily Mail or any of them say, "Oh well, this German player," I know it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10 they're full of crap.
Not facts. Let's read this comment right here. Odegaard came out and contradicted Arteta, saying he's absolutely fine to continue.
Yeah, but I don't believe players most of the time.
Yeah,
I mean, even
players are always going to say they're healthy.
Yeah, even if he did, the truth was in that second half against Aston Villa, he was marked out. We didn't see him anymore. He was ghost. He was great in the first half, but he was marked out in the second half. And so whether he was tired or not, I just knew that, look, that was a strategic move by Arteta, the manager, trying to find another way, because Aston Villa marked him out. And as soon as
say this past weekend with y'all's game, from what I saw,
you watched it.
Aston Villa, yeah, damn right I watched it. But the thing is like Leon Bailey.
I thought you didn't watch Arsenal.
Y'all got on my ass for not knowing what I was talking about, so I watched your shit. Hey, you played on a Sunday. I wasn't doing anything else on a Sunday.
Fair enough.
Oh my God, Ryan is like, well, you all said I didn't know nothing about you, so I watched you, man.
Yeah.
And then we ended up losing.
Give me a break. You accuse me of doing something, I go and do it. And
now you know why they watched us? You know why they watched us? They didn't want to watch Leverkusen win the league.
No, that was on my phone.
Okay, it was the same time. That's why.
Yeah, I was watching one on the phone and one on. Yeah, I mean, I multitask.
There you go.
We
Bro,
we can do that.
long story short, what did you get? What did you see in the Aston Villa game that made you more confident against us?
Leon Bailey, the way that Leon Bailey played, because I could see Sane doing roughly the same type of play. The Ollie Watkins thing, Kane and him are, what I'm saying, are nowhere close to being a 1-for-1. So I couldn't see anything with that. But with Leon Bailey doing with what he was doing, Sane can do that. And then if we bring on Matthias Tell can do the same thing, because Matthias Tell will come in for, and I'll tell you how it's going to work. Thomas Muller will come off in the second half. Matthias Tell will come on. Matthias Tell will go to left wing. You'll have Sane on right wing, and then you'll have Musiala in the middle. And if that time happens earlier, honestly, it's better for us, and it is sort of better for y'all, because that allows, if it goes to extra time and so like what I'm saying, the overtime or whatever you want to call it, Tell will be slower. But at this point, Tell is our fastest guy. If Brian Zaragoza comes in, that's the guy that I can kind of see that y'all aren't even ready for yet. Like you can't plan for him because he's only played once.
Arteta and Brian ready to play at this level consistently.
Matthias Tell is. Zaragoza played at Granada, so I don't know how well he is to fitting into that Champions League mold, because he really hasn't had to do it. But the thing is if it gets to those late minutes and that added time or any of that kind of stuff, extra time, that's when, if Zaragoza comes in, that's something that Arsenal fans, Arteta can't plan for. Hell, Thomas Tuchel can't plan for it, because we as Bayern don't know what that kid can do, because he only plays in garbage time. And granted, he's like literally this tall. And wings that are this tall are the guys that scare me. I don't know
enough about your squad players. Honestly, I haven't been watching Bayern enough to know enough about Tell and these guys, these squad players that you have. So it's like, we'll find out.
Tell, I wouldn't say is a squad player. I mean, when we got Matthias Tell, he was arguably, when we got him, was the second coming of Mbappe. But like any young French player that's a striker, that's what you're going to hear.
Never heard of him until I seen you guys sign him.
Well, supposedly y'all were bidding on him. So is half the EPL.
When was this?
2 years ago.
No, bro. I've been doing content for like the last 4 years, and I never heard of us being interested in Tell.
Okay, the Daily Mail is full of shit then. Because they had y'all bidding on him. They had City bidding on him.
Tell guy? Anybody in the chat, have you heard of us being linked to Tell? Let me know.
No, we just concluded the Daily Mail and shit.
Yeah, I just said it came in. It was from the Daily Mail.
We just finally found a reason to be like, yeah, it's true.
Okay. I'm gonna say this: we have to play with the same back line with Tomiyasu though. The midfield is going to be Rice, Odegaard, and Jorginho. Front three for me is Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, and Havertz. That's my team. I
would play Jesus in the first half, and I'll tell you
why would you play Jesus over Havertz?
Let me tell you what. No, not over Havertz, over Martinelli. Martinelli has been poor over the last couple of games, and let me tell you why.
I don't know, bro. Who's the source?
Daily Mail.
Scroll down.
It's hold on.
Anyways,
according to Bild in Germany, which is actually a legit source.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so my thing is, look, Martinelli, I love Martinelli, but let's be realistic, he's being poor. Gabriel Jesus created the equalizer for us against Bayern when he came on at the Emirates. He was the one that got us he created the equalizer, and he had more effect. And he's the one player who has stepped up for us in the Champions League the most. He scored majority of our goals. He's played well in the Champions League. He may not be popping off in the league, which is why I tell people, because your league form does not usually translate into the UCL, if I have a player who somehow just rises to the occasion in all these big games, like the games where it's Champions League competition, I'll play him instead. I'm not just going to play my team in form because they're in form in the league. Because when they get to the Champions League, they get overwhelmed. Havertz, I don't think will be overwhelmed. He's played in Germany before. He's played against Bayern. He's played in the Champions League. So he has the mentality of, okay, I've done this sometime before. Of course, it's a different Bayern, but he has that, Jesus has played in the Champions League. So he's not, Martinelli has not. And we've seen it in his games,
But Martinelli's pace would be useful on the counter.
I'm saying his pace. I'll bring him in the second half, and the reason I'd use Jesus in the first half is Jesus will cause a lot of havoc in that front line for them, and he helps defend, and that allows and Havertz. Havertz to pull,
I don't know what football London is.
Havertz to pull defenders away, run into spaces, create space for Jesus. I know he's not the best finisher, but in the Champions League, we've seen that he's been finishing. He's been finishing his dinner. He's assisting and he's scoring. So I would play him left wing. And this is also because Martinelli's injury is not fully back yet. So I'm not going to be getting the best out of Martinelli. So I'd play Jesus on the left. I'd play Saka on the right. I know Saka is also tired, but he's the only right wing guy I have right now. I'll play him on the right. Play Havertz down the middle. Jorginho, Rice, and Odegaard. I'm tempted. Well, I know Jorginho has also played in the Champions League and he's won, he's playing in European tournaments. He's very well experienced. Thomas Partey has just looked a little lethargic to me in the last couple of games. He's coming a little slow. His passes have been great, but his pace has been slow. I've seen them turn him a couple of times, and I think that's because of lack of minutes. But if we can get these guys pumping, I think we can steal something there.
That's your projected lineup. Well, if I can turn it.
Let me see this. So they have Saka, Martinelli. Yeah, they have the team that I picked.
Yeah, that's the team he picked. The only person I was changing was Gabriel Jesus. But you know what? I guess.
But you shouldn't trust the son, though.
No. I guess if Martinelli is fit,
well, that's kicker.
Fit,
that's not the son.
Yeah. If Martinelli is fit, then yes. But yeah, it's one of those games where you're just like, we have the players and they have the capacity. They just need to step up.
When was the last time Bayern Munich lost a second leg match at home?
A second leg match at home?
Yeah, when was it that you ever lost a Champions League knockout round tie that was close at home? Because Arsenal haven't been able to win.
What is the name of it? Villarreal 2 years ago.
Oh shit! So it's recent.
Yeah, because they took a lead at home and then played keep away for 90 minutes. It drove me absolutely crazy.
Okay,
they led by 1 goal. Yeah, they led by 1 goal. They led by 1 and then played keep away for 90 minutes. It drove me absolutely bonkers.
So you know something?
They time wasted from like kickoff, and I'm talking about kickoff. They kicked kickoff back to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper fell down like he was wasting time.
That's funny because we faced Unai Emery on the weekend. He did something similar after he scored. But
yeah, I mean it drove me absolutely nuts. I couldn't take it anymore.
I can't compare Arsenal to Villarreal, but if we could do something defensive after getting a 1-0 lead, I don't know.
I mean, the other time you can think of Liverpool.
Liverpool battered you guys.
Yeah, but we were drawing them going 2019? I think it was.
They battered you at the Allianz, right?
They beat us 3-0. But it was a draw going into it.
So could you see a similar performance to what Liverpool did back then?
Hell no. You don't have Mats Hummels who quits, or we don't have Mats Hummels who literally quit on the field. I watched him quit.
But you have freaking worse center backs, to be fair.
But they're not going to quit on the field. Like, just stop playing.
Yo, DAYO, could you see a situation where either team blows the other team out?
It's possible. I'll even say it's possible.
There's a possibility. But I think
it's always possible.
I think that there's a level of respect from both teams after we played at the Emirates. I think Bayern feel like now that they're home, they have a better chance of scoring and winning Bayern are like, yes, we are coming to our home. And Bayern did what they needed to do at the Emirates, which is get that draw. I mean, when we scored first, you could tell, you could see that there was a sense of confidence in Arsenal, and we started playing the occasion. We stopped playing the game. We thought we had it in the bag. It's like, yeah, we got this, and it should never be like that. So, and I know Bayern is more experienced in the sense that they've been through this before. So, for them, they're not going to look at us and be like, oh, we've got this after scoring one goal. They're going to try and come for a second, a third, a
Yeah.
fourth, a fifth. That's the difference between Bayern at home and us. That experience of we don't care even if we get the first, we're coming for a second, third, fourth, fifth. So it is possible, but having seen how the individual mistakes we've made over the last couple of games, if those can be polished out and we can go back to our solid defensive way we've been playing all season, where we've been solidly good at the back, I think even with them trying to score multiple goals, they might not be able to blow us away. They might, score a couple of goals and defensively we hold them back. But if we capitulate and we start making those mistakes, that's a 5-0, like easily.
I mean, the thing that
Because
I see
all
it
it takes is
is
all it takes is three individual errors for them to score. Any three individual, they'll score those three chances. Like we can't
well,
make
and
any mistakes.
it's
That's the
gonna
thing.
be a loud atmosphere from
compared to
beginning to
us.
end.
Yeah.
And I said last time, Arsenal's gonna have 60 some odd thousand people there. It's gonna be loud. They should be able, what I'm saying, feed off of that, right? I've seen multiple parts where, what I'm saying, as soon as Gnabry scored, it became a church again. You know what I'm saying? It was loud, it was loud, it was loud, it was loud, and then like people said, you literally could hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
And when it finally came out, it was y'all had 60,400 give or take fans. You had 250 Bayern Munich fans,
Yeah.
and the thing is even on the telecast, you could hear that it dropped. At Bayern, the Sud curve's going to go the entire time. It doesn't matter if we're down 7-1 or if we're up 15-0.
Okay.
They're going to keep going the whole time.
Time to put your chest on the line, guys. What's your predictions?
3-1, we win.
How does
2-1
it, how
Arsenal.
does it, how do you end up getting a 3-1 lead?
That's his prediction now. That's his prediction. So
You shoot the ball and it goes in. The
No,
other
no,
team
no.
goes down,
I mean,
shoots
I
the ball,
mean,
and it goes
I
in,
mean,
and we do it 2 more times.
no. I mean, like, what do you think is actually? How do you think you're gonna get that advantage? Like, to get
The thing is in the first half, I see Sane going by whoever your left back is. It doesn't matter. Blowing by them, crossing it to the middle, and you're going to have Harry Kane. It deflects off his big ass dome, and Thomas Muller puts it in the back of the net. Then I see probably Saka going by Mazraoui. Dyer trying to do whatever dumb shit Dyer does, and it goes in same way. And then in the second half, when we go the opposite way towards the Sud curve, that's when we just start pouring it on. Musiala scores one, and I'm gonna say Harry Kane scores one, some weird, goofy ass, dumb looking guy way.
what are you saying, Dale? What's your score prediction? And
score prediction.
how do you get to it?
Score prediction 1-0 Arsenal.
And how did you get to it?
I feel like if we do what I'm thinking that we're able to do and what we've done before in the past defensively, I've watched a bunch of Bayern games and I've looked at Sani and all these guys. We've come up against guys that are just as fast, maybe not as technical, but just as fast and almost, let's just say, skill for skill. No, Sani is probably better, but we have the capacity to be able to stop players like him, and we have players like that in the team that can stop him. Um, Harry Kane should not be a problem if we play defensively the way we've played all season and not go and be stupid about it. We can still a 1-0 victory by playing a mid block like we played against Man City at the Emirates in the first leg. We played a mid block. We didn't play a deep block. We played mid block. We let them have the ball when they needed to have the ball. And whenever they countered, we won our first or second balls. And at the end, we got a deflection. So I think we're going to get one of those crazy last minute deflections because I think we can frustrate them up until the 80th minute to not be able to score. Now they will. This is going to be a hammer hitting our head consistently for the whole 90 minutes, like a sledgehammer. Like literally, this is not going to be one of those toy plastic mallets. No, this is going to be and I've seen us withstand games like that this season. So I believe we can do it if we can just get that 1-0, nick it, and get out of there. My second prediction would be to hold them to 120 minutes, tire them out. So a lot of their players that are older than our players will be tired. We have a younger squad. We have a more, well, generally more younger across the board than they do. And if those players are tired and they're taken out, we stand a better chance of winning on penalties because the best penalty takers will probably be taken out out of fatigue and tiredness. So I'm just looking at it from a different perspective of how we can win because it's at the arena, it's at the Alliance Arena, and this is Bayern. So there's got to be you have to find a different way to win there. Either you hold them up, frustrate them, 90 minutes, go into 120 minutes, and go into penalties. And if we lose on penalties, I'll be glad to say we went to the Alliance Arena, we played our hearts out. You didn't blow us away. You beat us on penalties because we all know penalties it can swing either way. So I say 1-0, smash and grab.
I'm not confident at all.
I am.
Off the back of the result that we had at home, and off the back of the loss versus Aston Villa, I need to see something that I haven't seen from the team in those last two games. I need to see a little bit more control. Because one thing we had DAYO for the majority of this run in 2024 is a lot more control in our style and how we play. We've kind of lost our control. We've kind of become a little bit more chaotic. So if we can do that and have a little bit more control and not be all kamikaze all over the place, I could see a situation in where we can get a 2-1 lead late in the game and hold on to it. But I do think there's going to be goals in this game. I do think there's going to be errors. Both teams are going to get opportunities to take the lead, and the team that buckles first is the team that's probably going to lose. So
well, and my thing is honestly for me, what scares me is when it gets chaotic, and y'all are coming at us at full force. If you slow that ball down, we play better when you play slow. If you play fucking sprinting all out the entire game and just coming at us, that's when we start flubbing a little bit. But if you try to sit there and try to slow ball us, that's playing into our game because we have the players to get the ball back and just play keep away for 20 minutes if we want. But it's that whole thing of if we give it away, are you coming right back at us at full force? If you try to slow it down, then you know what I'm saying. Like DAYO said, if you're coming at us, draw the foul, you get the free kick, you get the corner, whatever, it gives you a better shot. But if you slow it down and try to run like, you know what I'm saying, possession ball, there's really only one team that's been able to do that to us, and that's City.
City, yeah. I don't think
I mean, but we play a dominating style of football. It's just in this last couple of games. But I wanted to say this, Miguel. I know you're saying based off the last two games. And like I said, we need to separate Champions League from the league. Before Bayern came to us, they played Hoffenheim where they lost. They were up 2-0 and they lost 3-2. Or they played
Heidenheim.
I keep on Hoffenheim. Heidenheim, sorry.
Trust me, Heidenheim's a whole lot worse than Hoffenheim.
No. And everybody was talking about how, oh my god, they're playing terribly. But we saw what happened. That form did not translate. In the UCL is different. We were playing well in the league, and our form did not translate. What we need to do when we go away to the Alliance Arena is realize knockout tournaments are a smash and grab thing. We have the way we play, which is our strongest point defensively. Let's go in there and play to our strength. We're here to smash and grab. We're not here to come and be nice. If we have to turn into a prime Diego Simeone Atletico Madrid team, because I've heard pundits, I've heard coaches, I've heard managers say this Arsenal team is the one team that they've played against that can play in different ways. When you hear managers say that about your team, different managers of other teams say, when they played us, they played a different way. When they played us, they played it. And like 3-4 managers have said that. That gives me the confidence that we can play a certain way that can frustrate Bayern. We can find out, like we literally, and we have the capacity and the team. You know, the boys have what it takes to go in there, frustrate them, get a smash and grab, and let's just get it. Like if we try to go toe to toe with Bayern at home, it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna end well. Yeah.
It's not gonna end well.
No,
You know, like
I'll tell you
for
that
me,
right now. It won't.
yeah, you can't go toe to toe with them. Like even when I did active like sports with judo, there are people that I would run away from in the tatami. I'd run away. I'll get penalized -3, -5. Then before they
You wanna
penalize
know
me,
something though? Bayern Munich have the Bayern Munich, because they've been winning for so many years. They have the mentality. They brush off bad results so easily. I
yeah,
feel like bad results hurt us a lot more. It hurts our ego. It hurts our
eh,
mentality.
let me address that mentality thing, Igal. Most people don't realize that you have to go through that to become a mentality monster. If your mentality is not hurt, if your ego is not bruised, if you feel like, let me put it this way, if you're perfect and you're just winning, you never lose, you're not really a mentality monster. You're just playing well. But when the real adversity comes and you get knocked down and you get up after that game and you go into the next game and you kick ass, like you go in and you wipe the next team out, that's mentality monster. That's like, you know what, you got knocked down, you got up and you did what you're supposed to do. That's because it can either go the way where it puts you down. You're like, oh my god. And I've seen this team after we lost to West Ham, took a break, came back. You saw exactly what we started doing. We're blowing teams out of the water 6-0, 5-0, 4-1, 3-1, you know, 4-5 games back to back, 33 goals in like what, 4 games, 33 goals, shots on target against us, 2 or 3. So
But
I've
the
seen
only issue is with the mentality, and you had to get up for that game against Bayern at home. Then after that game, you had to get up and hype yourself up to play a game to compete in the, you know what I'm saying, for an EPL
yeah,
title, that you had to be up there. Now you're coming back on a Wednesday, you know what I'm saying, a shorter week than Bayern. We have a 1 day extra rest, but and then you're going away to Munich and have to get back up again. It's not really a mentality monster. It's the thing of how many times can you hype yourself up before you have that collapse? And was that collapse on Sunday, or was that collapse going? Is that collapse going to be on Wednesday? Because a lot of teams that, and I'm not, trust me, I'm not trying to shit on Arsenal when I say this. A lot of teams like a City, like a Bayern, like a Real Madrid, I would say like a Celtic, but a team that's always, you know what I'm saying, in the front of the league, always always in that competition. It's easy for us to get up and get back down, get up and get back down. Because in a lot of those games, we don't shift out of second gear. For Arsenal this year, because it's you, Liverpool, and Man City, you can't shift down, because if you take a breath, you're going to get knocked out of a competition. At this point, you're still mathematically in the EPL. City can fuck up and you still be there. Liverpool is going to fuck up. We all know that's going to happen. But the thing is you're still mathematically in. You're I don't know if you're in. Are you still in the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup?
No, we're out of that.
Okay, so you just have the league and you just have Champions League. Bayern don't have anything. The only thing we have to get up for now is Wednesday. It's like you said. Do we see it as a crisis or anything like that? No, we see it as we only have to prepare for Wednesday. What happens next weekend, nobody gives a shit, because Leverkusen's already won the league. With y'all, you have to be on your game every weekend, every league game, and have to be on your game for every Champions League game.
yeah.
That's going to take a toll on a lot of guys that haven't been in that. Even though, you know what I'm saying, you have guys
There's a
that are,
context here.
but it's hard for Kai Havertz to express to, like, say, to Saka on how up and down. You know what I'm saying? Because
Saka has to experience it and then
yeah,
and get to a point where he's like, you know, and this is why I'm happy with what Mikel has done. See, look, barring banter, right? You know, of course, when people are going to banter, I'll talk my team up. I will mouth off at anybody. I'm not going to let them put my team down. Barring banter and anything else, what Mikel Arteta has done in 4.5 years, I'm going to say it again. He's challenged for the title twice and taken us back to the Champions League quarterfinal in 4.5 years. That means 50% of the time he spent here, he's challenged for the title twice and has taken us to the quarterfinal of the Champions League. I'll say it again. 4 years of experience as a coach. So
yeah,
when
but he learned under Pep Guardiola. So I mean,
he did no.
that,
He did
that
he,
is
no, hold
that
on, hold on, hold on.
itself
Hold on, I agree with you. He was Pep's
is
assistant.
experience.
I'm not saying that's the experience, but what I'm saying is 4 years I've been at the helm of affairs, you making the final decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Pep, it was of course you were
But
Pep's
no, what I'm
assistant.
saying is like getting the education from Pep Guardiola is
I totally
like
agree.
3 years at Brighton.
I know. Listen, I totally agree with you, but all I'm just saying is like for me, that is with Pep, he was with Pep. With Arsenal,
Yeah.
on that time on the books, it's been 4.5 years. December this year makes it 5 years, right? December 19th, make it 5 years. And I tell people that look, I see what he's taken us, where he's taken us from to where we are at now, where everybody's talking about us competing. Like what we're having a conversation. I would never have met you, Ryan, if we didn't get into the Champions League. Like I was not on your level. There was you and I would not be on this stream. No, it's not. I'm not being disingenuous. It's the
Yeah.
truth.
True.
It's the
I mean,
truth.
and one thing I can hand to y'all, you actually keep a coach. I mean, you've kept a coach for 4 years. We've had 4 over that time frame.
So for me, I think like I'm just
Okay,
I'm
technically 3.
I'm glad of where we're at. But here's the thing: we have the capacity to be able to push further. Like you had said about mentality, mentality is only formed when you have gone through the adversity. If you've not gone through the adversity, you can't build your mentality. If Arteta has look, I tell people this: if you can get everything you need in the world, for those who believe in God, who believe in the Almighty, if you can get everything you need in the world, then you don't need the Almighty. You don't need to pray. If you can snap your finger by yourself and get the house you want, the car you want, the woman of your dreams, the money you need, without why do you need God? Like you can get everything, but because you can't, you need a higher power to give it to you, right? So you cannot, with the same thing with mentality, you cannot have everything going good for you and build your shop and build your mentality. You have to face adversity. Those adversities is where you then go back and sharpen and say, well, I messed up yesterday on the pitch. I did this, I did that. I should have released that ball on time. All right, now let me just, guys, we can do this now. The next game, go in there and then try and smash it.
Yeah, but see, with Arsenal, it's that whole thing of, does the Aston Villa game hang with certain players in their head? Like, you know what I'm saying? Does it stay with them? Because, like Egal said, at Bayern Munich, we lost to Hoffenheim. We don't give a shit. We move on. You know what I'm saying? It's Saturday in, Sunday it's out. We move. So I mean, that
our
comes with
defeats do
experience.
linger, bro. Our defeats do linger.
No. It hasn't lingered in recent times. We keep looking back at last season. We need to stop this. I don't. This is what I do.
Bro, this season, Fulham West Ham.
So 2 back-to-back defeats. That's happened to many teams. It's happened to Bayern. Most teams have those 2 back-to-back defeats. We're making it sound like it's unique to Arsenal. Have we had 4 back-to-back defeats this season? No. We've not had 2 draws on the back-to-back defeats. We've not had a draw back, a defeat, a draw, a defeat. We've not had that this season. We've never had that this season. Let's be honest about it. We can sit here and try and continually look at Arsenal through the goggles of last 3, 4, 5 seasons instead of looking at them right now. The truth, right now, you can't point at a period of 7 games where Arsenal was bad in 7 games or 5 games. It was either 2, and this happens to every team. Did City not go through a 4-game drought where they drew and they lost?
Big up monster. These guys have been talking about Cole Palmer all night. They're loving life. Listen.
So you see what I'm saying? Like, so we've had a, let's be honest, we've had a team that has showed us that. And one thing I'll say is I think Mikel has been building their mentality from the very beginning. If you remember everything they've always said, the Arsenal team has always said we go game by game. We don't think about the net. We go game by game, which means he's letting them know whatever you do, go into the game, win. If you can't win and we lose, we go to the next game. We go game by game. The Arsenal of old, where people are talking, go look at all the players, their Instagram, win or lose. The minute the game is over, Arsenal players are like, we didn't do what we're supposed to do today. We move on to we make sure we give you a victory in the next game. That's you see them posting stuff on their Instagram like, yo, man, guys, we didn't do too well today, but you guys deserve better. Like, you fans deserve better. Next game, we move. They never used to do that. And that for me is something that I think is coming from inside within the camp. Like, hey, get your head up. Bayern is a hard.
Or it's, hey, tell your assistant to write this.
No, yeah, it could be, but
the team hands it out to everybody's assistant. Hey, make sure Gabrielle has this post on his stuff.
I mean, yeah, it could be.
I don't know. Sometimes I kind of get that feeling.
Yeah, I
They
get that.
post a little early.
Yeah, because most of them.
Like I know you ain't typing because I'm looking at you on TV and you're shaking the dude's hand, but how'd they get put on Twitter, man? No, that didn't happen.
It is what it is. I'm just gonna end it off here. My score prediction, as I said, is a 2-1 victory. Dayo, you said 1-0. Ryan, 3-1.
3-1.
We'll see where we are in a week's time. But right now, guys, I'm exhausted. It is 12 a.m. It is 12 a.m. right now, and I'm going to be going to bed. So do me a favor. If you're watching this on the playback, you're an absolute legend. Let me know what you think about the game, and I'll catch you guys. The next time I'm going to do this is probably Wednesday. So I'm going to take a day off, and I'll catch you guys then. Dayo, appreciate it. Ryan,
Always.
it's been a pleasure. May the best team win.
Ryan, we're coming to smash you 1-0. I'll see you on Wednesday, Ryan.
Peace out.